Do your legs feel weaker as time goes by? Does it take more effort to stand up? Do stairs feel steeper than they used to? And do you find yourself walking more carefully, afraid you might trip or fall? You may think this is just part of getting older, but what if I told you the real cause might not be your age, but what you eat every day? A sweet treat after dinner, a slice of deli meat in your lunchtime sandwich, a bowl of noodles when you're tired. These everyday foods may seem harmless, but they could be causing inflammation, breaking down your muscles, slowing your circulation, and draining the strength from your legs little by little. And the scariest part? Most of us repeat this pattern every day without even realizing it. Science now shows that certain foods, and even two common vitamins, may weaken your muscles, make your joints ache, and cause your legs to become less steady over time. The good news is, once you know what's causing the problem, you can take steps to change it. And when you make those changes, your legs can begin to regain their strength one step at a time. In this video, I'll show you 15 everyday foods that may be silently weakening your legs and the healthy alternatives that can help restore your strength, all without medication. One vitamin in particular, the second on the list, may truly surprise you because there's a good chance you're taking it right now. If you value your independence and if you want to stay strong and steady on your feet for years to come, stay with me. What you're about to hear might be just what you need to protect your legs and your life on your own terms. A slice of cake, a spoonful of ice cream, or a cup of milk tea. These small indulgences often bring a sense of comfort, but after the age of 60, that sweetness can turn into a silent enemy, slowly destroying your legs little by little. Refined sugar doesn't just cause weight gain or diabetes. It also triggers chronic inflammation, a state that keeps your body in constant biological stress. And did you know inflammation is one of the hidden reasons why muscles weaken, joints ache, and your legs feel heavier with every step? Inflammation damages muscle tissue, slows recovery, and makes you feel tired, stiff, and numb, especially in the legs. Every spoon of sugar you eat doesn't just raise your blood glucose, it also reduces insulin sensitivity, making it harder for energy to reach your muscle cells. The result, your legs tire faster, you walk shorter distances, and sit for longer periods. It doesn't stop there. Sugar also promotes visceral fat and fat buildup in the legs, increasing pressure on the knees, ankles, and feet, joints that are already fragile due to collagen loss with age. A Harvard study showed that older adults who consume more sugar have a 31% higher risk of musculoskeletal inflammation and a significantly slower recovery after falls. And you think only desserts contain sugar? Not at all. Boxed juice, breakfast cereals, even fruit-flavored yogurt can contain surprisingly high amounts of sugar. When sugar accumulates, it triggers a chain reaction that destroys muscle mass called glycation, hardening tissues, damaging motor nerves, and slowing reflexes. That's why your legs react more slowly, stumble easily, or lose balance. Even worse, sugar depletes magnesium in the body, a mineral that's vital for smooth muscle contraction and joint function. Without enough magnesium, you're more likely to experience night cramps, stiffness during sleep, and difficulty moving in the morning. But the good news is, you don't have to give up sweets completely. Make smart swaps. Use cinnamon, natural vanilla, or low-sugar fruits like blueberries, strawberries, or oranges to create natural sweetness. Instead of industrial cookies, try oatmeal mixed with ripe banana and cinnamon. Good for your muscles and safe for your joints. A small change today could help you keep each steady step tomorrow. Starting with tomorrow's breakfast, try not adding sugar to your coffee or tea, and let your body feel your legs can be lighter, more flexible, all thanks to one simple choice. Aromatic, crispy, piping hot. That's the feeling when biting into a French fry, a piece of fried chicken, or a golden fried pastry. But after the age of 60, every indulgence like that may be a step backward for your legs. Fried foods are packed with saturated fats and trans fats, two of the most well-known triggers of chronic inflammation in the body. Inflammation doesn't just cause pain, it silently damages muscle tissue, stiffens joints, and directly impacts the flexibility and strength of your legs. Have you ever noticed that after a meal full of fried food, your legs feel heavy, tired, and hard to move? That's a sign of slowed circulation, as your blood vessels constrict under the influence of unhealthy fats. When blood can't flow well, your leg muscles, which constantly need oxygen, fall into an energy deficit, leading to muscle fatigue, cramps, and slower recovery. A study from the Cleveland Clinic revealed that people over 60 who regularly eat fried food have a 45% higher musculoskeletal inflammation index and are twice as likely to lose balance compared to those who eat little to none. Notably, trans fats can remain in the bloodstream for up to 51 days, continuing to fuel silent inflammation for weeks after a single meal. Beyond inflammation, fried food is also high in salt and calories, which leads to uncontrolled weight gain, especially around the belly and thighs. Every extra pound adds pressure to your knees, ankles, and hips, damaging cartilage, causing chronic joint inflammation, and reducing weight-bearing capacity. If you've ever felt knee pain when going up the stairs, the culprit might be right on your plate. Fried foods also contribute to blockages in tiny blood vessels, especially in the lower limbs. This condition prevents nutrients from reaching your muscles in time, resulting in fatigue, weakness, and a higher risk of falling. The most dangerous part? The symptoms don't show up right away. They build up meal by meal, month by month, until your legs have truly lost their strength. But that doesn't mean you have to give up flavor. Just change the way you cook, and you can still enjoy your favorite dishes without harming your legs. Swap deep frying for oven baking, air frying, or pan searing with a small amount of olive oil. Cut down fried dishes to 1 to 2 times a week and alternate with steamed vegetables, soups, or fresh spring rolls. Use natural anti-inflammatory spices like ginger, turmeric, and black pepper. They enhance flavor while protecting your joints. From one small choice in your kitchen, you can protect your legs, your knees, and your freedom. White bread, a familiar choice for breakfast, lunch sandwiches, or afternoon snacks. But behind that crispy crust and soft center lies a troubling truth. This type of bread may be quietly weakening your legs day by day. The issue lies in its ingredients. White bread is made from refined flour, which has had the bran and germ removed, the parts that contain most of the fiber, vitamins, and minerals. The result, you're eating a form of empty carbohydrate, digested quickly, but silently harmful to muscles and metabolism. After the age of 60, the body's ability to regulate blood sugar and convert energy declines. White bread, with its high glycemic index, causes sudden blood sugar spikes, followed by rapid drops, leading to feelings of fatigue, weakness, and shaky limbs, especially after meals. These roller coaster sugar swings mean that the muscles in your legs don't receive steady energy, resulting in tiredness, muscle looseness, and reduced strength. It doesn't stop there. Eating lots of refined starches like white bread causes the body to produce more insulin, increasing the risk of insulin resistance over time. Insulin resistance weakens the muscle cell's ability to absorb glucose, meaning your muscles remain energy-starved even when you've eaten enough. The result? Thinner muscles, less strength, and a loss of confidence when walking fast or climbing stairs. To make matters worse, white bread contains almost no protein, the key nutrient for maintaining and repairing muscle mass. When older adults eat white bread daily without pairing it with quality protein, the body quietly enters a state of muscle loss, sarcopenia, reducing balance, stability, and endurance for longer walks. A study from the Mayo Clinic found that those who consume refined foods like white bread experience 28% more muscle loss over 10 years compared to those who ate whole grains. Another concern: white bread is often paired with jam, margarine, processed cheese, and sausages, forming a convenient meal that's low in nutrients and high in inflammation. The solution isn't hard. You don't need to give up bread. Just choose a better type. Opt for whole grain, barley, or oat-based bread. Look for naturally fermented, no added sugar varieties. Pair with quality proteins: boiled eggs, canned fish, nut butter, or avocado. Add veggies, cucumber, leafy greens, tomato, to help stabilize blood sugar. With just a small change in your morning loaf, you can help your legs grow stronger, feel less tired, and gradually reclaim the freedom that age never truly took, if you know how to care for it. A glass of wine before dinner, a beer at a gathering, a cocktail while catching up with an old friend. For many, these small indulgences are tied to relaxation and the joys of life. But after age 60, your body doesn't process alcohol the way it used to. And one of the first, most noticeable effects shows up in your legs. Alcohol significantly delays muscle tissue repair. When you walk, stand for long periods, or climb stairs, the muscles in your legs experience small strains and need time to recover. But frequent drinking weakens the body's ability to repair, leading to lingering soreness, stiff joints, and reduced mobility even after simple daily activities. And that's just the beginning. Alcohol interferes with the absorption of magnesium, vitamin D, and calcium, three key nutrients essential for proper muscle contraction, bone strength, and preventing cramps. When you're low on these minerals, your legs may feel numb, twitch involuntarily while lying down, or seem stiff and unresponsive when you wake up in the morning. As you age, your liver and kidneys work harder to process alcohol, often leading to chronic mild dehydration. This contributes to joint stiffness, muscle tightening, and reduced flexibility. Ever feel like your legs are pulling tight when you step out of bed after a night of drinking? That's not random. It's a clear biological consequence. Worse yet, alcohol is considered empty calories, providing no nutrients, yet contributing to weight gain, especially around the belly. And that weight matters. Every extra pound adds more pressure on your knees, hips, and ankles, worsening joint pain and inflammation, conditions already common as we age. A CDC study found that adults over 65 who drank alcohol 3 or more times a week had a 27% higher risk of falls, not necessarily due to intoxication, but because of impaired muscle function and slower nerve response. Just one distracted moment when standing up can lead to a fall that alters your independence permanently. So, do you need to quit completely? Not necessarily, but it helps to cut back and make smarter choices. Instead of drinking nightly, try a herbal tea in the evening. It's calming and anti-inflammatory. When socializing, opt for sparkling water with a slice of lemon or mint. If you do have alcohol, pair it with protein-rich foods and plenty of water to help counter its effects. Strong legs aren't built by exercise alone. They're also shaped by what you put into your body. One less drink today could mean one more confident, steady step tomorrow. A slice of deli ham in your sandwich, a fried sausage for lunch, a bit of crispy bacon with breakfast. Convenient, tasty, and easy to prepare. That's why processed meats have become a staple for many. But behind that convenience lies a quiet impact you might feel with every step. Leg fatigue, swollen joints, and a heavy, sluggish feeling in your lower body. Processed meats, including sausage, ham, bacon, and cold cuts, are often high in sodium, nitrites, preservatives, and saturated fat. These substances don't just make you retain water, leading to puffiness in your legs and ankles, but also trigger low-grade inflammation in your muscles and joints. This kind of inflammation doesn't always cause immediate sharp pain. It often starts as stiff joints in the morning, a reluctance to walk for too long, or feeling slow and heavy when trying to stand up. And over time, it silently erodes the muscle strength that naturally declines with age. A Harvard study found that adults over 60 who ate processed meats 4 or more times per week had a 36% higher risk of chronic knee arthritis and needed nearly twice as long to recover from injuries compared to those who ate fresh meats. It doesn't stop there. Nitrites and artificial additives can interfere with neuromuscular function, meaning the signals from your brain to your legs slow down. This can cause slower reflexes, poor balance, and a greater risk of tripping or falling. What's more, the saturated fats in processed meats reduce the elasticity of small blood vessels, especially the tiny capillaries in your legs. When blood flow is poor, oxygen delivery to muscles drops. The result? Your legs feel tired, weak, and less responsive. You might think, but I only eat a little, it's not a big deal. But for people over 60, every meal is either a chance to support recovery or contribute to decline. And if you're eating these meats 5 to 6 times a week, That little adds up fast. So what's the solution? You don't have to give up savory flavors. You just need to make smarter swaps. Replace sausages with shredded boiled chicken breast, lightly season. Swap bacon for fried eggs, stewed black beans, or thin avocado slices. Trade deli ham for grilled fish or steamed beef strips. Add fresh greens, tomatoes, or sprouts to your meals to help offset the effects of sodium and boost antioxidants. And most importantly, drink plenty of water after meals high in sodium to reduce fluid retention in your legs. You don't need to sacrifice flavor. Just choose differently so that taste doesn't come at the cost of your strength and independence. Quick, convenient, and easy to prepare. That's why instant noodles are a go-to meal in many households, especially for those living alone or avoiding complicated cooking. But after age 60, this seemingly harmless hunger fix can quietly become a culprit behind fatigue, weakness, and loss of leg strength. Instant noodles are mostly made from refined wheat flour, lacking fiber, protein, and essential vitamins, yet loaded with salt and industrial fats. The result? You're feeding your body empty calories with no real nourishment for your muscles, leading to muscle fatigue, joint weakness, and a noticeable drop in energy just a few hours after eating. One packet of instant noodles contains an average of 1,700 to 2,000 milligrams of sodium, which is at or above the daily recommended limit for older adults. This excessive sodium causes fluid retention, making your legs feel puffy, heavy, and like you're dragging weight with every step. It's not just a feeling, it's a real physiological response. And that little seasoning packet, it's often packed with synthetic flavor enhancers like monosodium glutamate, MSG, artificial coloring, and preservatives. Ingredients linked to chronic muscle inflammation, disrupted neuromuscular signals, and a higher risk of nighttime cramps or muscle twitching. Have you ever noticed how, after eating noodles, you feel full, but not energized? That sluggish, drained feeling where you just want to sit or lie down? That's because instant noodles don't offer sustained energy. They cause a quick spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash, leading to mild hypoglycemia, which leaves you feeling tired, shaky, and mentally foggy. According to a study by the NIH, older adults who consumed instant noodles more than 3 times a week had 23% lower leg muscle strength, especially among those with sedentary lifestyles. They also experienced slower recovery after falls and reported a frequent sensation of legs not cooperating when walking briskly or climbing stairs. The good news? You don't have to give up noodles, just reinvent the way you eat them. Choose whole grain noodles, brown rice vermicelli, or minimally processed dry faux noodles. Replace the seasoning packet with broth made from simmered bones, fresh ginger, turmeric, garlic, and onions. Add in boiled vegetables, eggs, tofu, chicken breast, or canned fish to boost protein and fiber. With just a few simple changes to your midday bowl, you can help your legs feel lighter, stronger, and more like they used to be, steady, flexible, and ready to take you wherever you want to go. A slice of cheese, a cheese stick, or a smooth, creamy cheese spread. They may seem like convenient snacks or an easy way to add richness to breakfast, but after age 60, these everyday cheese products may be quietly taking a toll on your legs and joints. Processed cheese, including packaged cheese slices, cheese sticks, processed cheese spreads, and liquid cheese, is typically loaded with sodium, saturated fat, phosphates, and preservatives. These ingredients can disrupt your body's mineral balance, directly impacting muscle function, tissue repair, and joint flexibility. One of the first effects is fluid retention, making your legs feel swollen, heavy, and sluggish, especially after salty meals. High sodium levels cause blood to pool in the lower limbs, making each step feel like a drag, even if you don't have any obvious joint problems. Worse, the phosphates found in many processed cheeses can interfere with your body's absorption of calcium and magnesium, two essential minerals that support muscle contractions, bone density, and help prevent cramps. When magnesium is low, you may notice shaky legs when walking quickly, nighttime leg cramps, or that strange sensation of your legs not moving in sync. Even more concerning, the type of fat in processed cheese not only raises bad cholesterol, but also promotes low-grade inflammation in muscles and joints. For older adults, even mild inflammation can be enough to cause stiff knees, weak calves, and difficulty climbing stairs. A study from the Mayo Clinic found that people who consume processed cheese 5 times a week had a 37% higher risk of joint pain, along with a significant decline in mobility after just 1 year, especially if their diet lacked leafy greens and mineral-rich foods. But there's good news. You don't have to give up cheese. Just switch to varieties that truly nourish your body. Choose fresh cheeses like ricotta, cottage cheese, or farmer's cheese. Look for options that are unsalted and preservative-free, often available at natural food stores. Pair them with fresh fruit, whole grain bread, or steamed vegetables to create a balanced, nutrient-dense snack. Remember, after 60, every gram of muscle you preserve is a step toward maintaining your independence. Don't let processed cheese rob you of strong legs, pain-free knees, and the confidence to step outside without hesitation. We've all heard, to keep your bones strong, take vitamins A and D. That's true, but only if taken correctly, in the right dosage, and at the right time. After age 60, the body processes vitamins differently, and taking the wrong dosage, especially through supplements, can have the opposite effect: muscle pain, cramps, and weakening legs. Vitamin A, while essential for eyesight and immunity, can become a powerful inflammatory agent when taken in excess. Older adults tend to accumulate vitamin A in the liver more, as the elimination process slows down. When the levels exceed safe limits, excess vitamin A can damage muscle tissue, causing persistent pain in the legs, back, and hips, sometimes mistaken for sciatica or arthritis. One common sign of vitamin A overdose is leg fatigue, difficulty taking long steps, a shaky feeling when standing up, and mild balance issues when changing positions. Additionally, it interferes with the absorption of magnesium and calcium, two minerals crucial for muscle function and smooth muscle contractions. Vitamin D, known for helping calcium absorption, is not free from risk either. Being a fat-soluble vitamin, vitamin D builds up in the body with frequent high doses, particularly through supplements. When accumulated to excess, it causes hypercalcemia, leading to muscle stiffness, cramps, joint pain, and limited flexibility. A study from Tufts University warns that seniors taking over 4,000 IU of vitamin D daily for 3 consecutive months have double the risk of muscle pain compared to those using controlled low doses. Particularly if taken with calcium without guidance, you may face soft tissue calcification, which causes calves to stiffen, resulting in pain when climbing stairs or walking long distances. The problem isn't the vitamins themselves. It's the dosage, timing, and self-supplementing without regular blood tests. What should you do? Don't self-prescribe high doses of vitamin A or D without a doctor's recommendation. Check the vitamin A and D content in the multivitamins you take daily, as the total dosage might exceed safe limits. If supplementation is needed, choose natural food sources. Vitamin A from carrots, pumpkin, liver in small amounts. Vitamin D from morning sunlight, fatty fish, and local eggs. Have regular blood tests every 6 to 12 months to check your actual levels, especially if you are taking supplements. Remember, what you think is helping you stay healthy, if taken incorrectly, can become a barrier that weakens your legs and prevents them from being strong again. Health after 60 doesn't come from the more, the better. It comes from enough and right. After everything you've just heard, you've probably realized it's not age that weakens your legs. It's the small choices you make every day. A piece of cake, a quick bowl of noodles, a just-in-case vitamin, seemingly harmless, yet they form the small bricks that build fatigue, cramps, and a lack of confidence in every step you take. But the best part is, you can reverse this. Your body doesn't need youth. It just needs to be properly nourished. All you need to do is start with the smallest changes, like swapping white bread for whole grain, skipping the instant noodles for a day, or cutting down on that evening glass of wine, and your legs will respond. When your legs regain strength, life will open up, broader, freer. So, what will you choose today? Type 1. If you're ready to swap instant noodles for vegetable soup and fish. Type 2. If you'll check the vitamin A/D supplements you're currently taking. Type 3. If you choose to keep your legs strong for life with truly nourishing meals. And if you found this video helpful, share it with a friend or family member, someone who struggles with their legs every morning. A small action from you can help them walk stronger for many more years. Because you deserve a future where you don't just live, but stand strong, walk far, and savor every step.